Feeling good. Had a good off season. Pretty much dedicated to every day to just getting the body right, getting the back right. Last year is obviously a huge disappointment for me, just not being able to be out on the field, having to go on the IL twice. It's been tough the last few years, just trying to figure this whole back thing out. But last year at the end of the year, when I went to LA to see Dr. Watkins, he put me on like a really extensive core program that I started there at the end of the year, and then just continued through that pretty much right away when I got home, just because I was off so much. I got right into lifting and stuff because I pretty much had a good baseline of doing the core stuff for like a month and a half, and then also with my lifting, continued with the core program, and that's obviously something that I'll keep doing throughout the season and probably the rest of my career. So but so far feel really great. Feel like I was able to get in pretty good shape, running good, hitting. For the most part, there's no setbacks this off season, and just feeling good. And I know it's going to be a lot of work, so just continuing with that core program, with everything that I do already for baseball. But I'm up for it if it's going to keep me out in the field, because that's why I'm here. I got to be out on the field. So I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I'm healthy enough to be out there with my team. So
you talk about getting the body right in the core program. Are these exercises that are new to you, or were you doing this stuff in previous off seasons?
I was doing a lot of it. I was on the right track a little bit. It's just the amount of reps. For instance, the first thing I do is dead bug continuous for 10. The last level of is level 5, and I have worked up to 15 minutes straight of doing a dead bug. That's the first exercise. So a lot of the stuff I was doing is just the amount of reps, the amount of hold with the reps that I'm doing, hold in a certain position for 5 to 10 seconds, stuff like that. So right away whenever I got into the weight room this off season, it just felt different, because in the last couple years, I would get in the weight room and it would just throw any weight that I would try to get any little heavier weight, it would just throw my body out of line. Stuff would start pulling and hurting and stuff. So this off season I was able to lift how before, when I got injured, how I used to lift. And I gotta make it to where I can continue to do that, just to help my body stay strong, to be able to recover through our long season. And it was kind of getting to a point where it was hard for me to lift because it was hurting me worse and stuff like that. So I know it's going to be tough, but I'm ready for it. I know what I need to do, and it's my job to do it. So I got to be out there on the field.
Is it something you have to continuously manage throughout the season?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to be something I manage the rest of my career, even whenever I'm done playing, just from a health standpoint with the back. For the most part, I know what I need to do, and I think spring will be a good time once we start playing games with the workload of practicing, just setting up a plan. I think we're going to try to get on the phone with Watkins and kind of see what his thoughts will be of how to structure it and stuff like that. So
is that what the shift is this time, that it's not something that you fix and it goes away and then you're fine, but it's something that maybe now when you address it, it's just, now we just have to be on it basically forever?
Yeah, and for the most part with what I was doing, I was staying consistent with what I was doing. I just think it wasn't enough to the point of what I'm doing now. Because just whenever I got home this year and I started lifting, I just felt a big difference in just my body control, actually bracing my core the right way whenever I'm walking, in the car, all that stuff, because all that stuff plays a factor whenever you have a back injury. It's really just everyday life stuff you're doing. So, but yeah, it's definitely something I'm gonna have to stay on and aggressively attack to keep my body in a good.
When you say sit and brace yourself in the car, what do you mean? Like, are you like
just
doing crunches when you're
no, so just like as a whole, like just everyday people, like we don't really, like when we sit down we slouch, and when we stand up we don't really stand with the right posture. So it just made me more aware of all that stuff, because like from doing that stuff my core was engaged even just in regular, so I just felt different. Like when I first got home after doing this program for some time, just with everything I was doing, like when I would lean over to pick up a gym bag or something, like, because I mean in the past, like even little stuff like that, like carrying a heavy bag and turning the wrong way would like kind of flare my back up and stuff. So yeah, just being more aware and with bracing my core to help take pressure off of my back. I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing for me moving forward.
You talked about how you felt like it used to when you were lifting. How nice was it to have that feeling return? And was there ever a part of you that worried that you may never feel like it used to when you're working out, that you would never get that comfortable feeling lifting?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, there was a lot of days where I just felt so bad to where it's like, man, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm trying everything I can, and that was whenever we got to the point where we were like, we need to go see a guy that he's top of the line with this. And that was when we went to Watkins last year. And I mean, even whenever I first got there, I'm just like, man, I don't know if this is gonna work, because I mean, it's some of the stuff I'm doing, but I mean, I just had to trust it and pay close attention to what I'm doing, and I don't know what the word is, but just like how I go out there to play with that focus, but when I was doing this, I had to just trust it and make sure I'm doing it the best I can, and see what the results are. And I mean, having those 5 weeks to do it leading up into the offseason obviously helps. And once I got going in the offseason, I was like, yeah, like I feel like this is night and day. Like this is it. Like I gotta keep. And he was telling me when I seen him, like I've seen a lot of guys with what you're going through, and that kind of helped like ease my mind, just because he worked with golfers, football players that all do a lot of the stuff I do. So I mean, I just had to trust it, and but like I was saying, I know it's going to be a lot of work going forward, and but it's my job to take that challenge.
Have you noticed any benefits in terms of the baseball activities? I know we've talked a lot about the weightlifting, but in terms of the swing, are you hitting the ball any harder? Are you throwing it from third to first any easier? Have you noticed any of those kind of benefits from this?
Yeah, I think just naturally, just because I'm able to obviously do a lot more in the weight room, just that's going to make you feel a lot stronger, faster, all that type of stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, just I feel a lot better, like moving around, like just the fluidity of it. Like certain movements would kind of hurt me and stuff like that. And I mean, swing-wise, just kind of when I first started swinging, I obviously took it kind of easy just because I wanted to see. I started hitting a lot earlier than I normally do, just because I knew I was going to take some time to build up and kind of take it easy. So, I mean, I kind of tried to just, for the most part, when I first started hitting, I mean, I just tried to just get real back simple with it, just a little bit wider than my base, and just kind of just feel myself swing light like I'm in the backyard those first like 2 weeks, and focus on finishing a little higher, take some stress off of that, and get behind the ball a little more. So yeah, and then the two-hand finish, that I would honestly say finishing high and two-hand finish were my main things that I wanted to focus on, especially when I first got home. So but yeah, just try to limit some of that torque like on my side and stuff. So but yeah, I mean, everything feels a lot better. Felt best I felt in a while as far as like moving around, running, and all that type of stuff.
But was the two-hand finish something you wanted to do, or coach told you to do, or somebody?
It's just, I mean, when I was young, I used to finish. I mean, I started one-hand finishing probably around like somewhere in high school, but I always used to two-hand finish for the most part when I was little. And mean, at first it was just something I wanted to try and see if it took some stress off of this, and it did. So, I mean, it's something I'm pretty familiar with, and I mean, it's not only going to help my back, but I mean, it helps with a lot of stuff, staying behind the ball, and a lot of times when we swing one-handed, we're more susceptible to chase bad pitches because you can get to more bad pitches with one hand versus, or you think you can versus with two. So, I mean, it kind of, but more than anything, it was just for my health. So.
How hard was it to miss so much time last year and have to be on the IL and not being able to be on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Like, just the way I finished 23, like, I mean, I felt good and just I was playing good, whatnot, and coming in the spring, then I mean, my off season was pretty good. I had a little hiccups here and there in the off season last year, but I mean, I came in the spring, I was feeling good, and kind of like towards the end of spring, I started to something just didn't feel right again, and I just was trying to get through it, and then had to go on the IL early. I'm just like, man, like, here we go again. Like, because I mean, I hate being on the IL. I just growing up, like, I never missed games. I never missed anything. So, but yeah, I mean, it just sucks. Like, whenever this is your job and you're counted on to be out there, and I mean, you just want to be out there. You want to win every game. You want to be out there with your team, just because we know what it's like to go through a whole 162, and it just sucks whenever you're not out there with your team and helping them with the fight. So, but yeah, I mean, this off season, I pretty much just got a nutritionist, all that type of stuff. I didn't do anything. Like, I literally just worked on my body, hung out with my family a little bit here and there. But I mean, I just for my peace of mind, like, I just gotta figure out how to stay on that field, just because it ain't fun being on the IL and just being there. I mean, you just feel like you're kind of there. You're not contributing. You're not helping the team. So,
how important is it to you to get back to the form of 2022, 23, especially at the plate? I think we all know you're consistent defensively, but to get back to guys a real offensive contributor.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not even so much. I mean, obviously, you wanna have good production, good numbers, but kind of a thing that I always say is just being able to put yourself in a position to hit the ball hard and hit the ball out front to where obviously it'll get in the air. So, I mean, I know if I can get my body back right and keep it right, I know I'm gonna hit. I think just being able to conquer that side of it, keeping my body healthy, I know that side of it will come. The numbers will come back. So I try not to think about that so much. I mean, this off season, it was just really just what can I do to make to where I'm not hurting, where I'm not hurting in my training, where I'm not hurting when I'm hitting, and everything else is going to take care of itself. So, but yeah, I mean, I think for us to be a good team, like, I have to be a bat, especially with the position I play at third base. Like, you got to be a guy that can drive the ball, whether it be just doubles, home run. I mean, that's part of my job. So I think for us to be a good team, get in the playoffs, like, I'm gonna have to be a guy that can do that.
I'm not trying to put the jinx on you, but you mentioned being, not having any pain. Are you pain free at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I'm pain free. It's not 100%. Like, I'm never gonna be how I felt, but if I can keep it to where it's manageable, to where almost how I was feeling in 23 at the end of the year, like, for the most part, day to day, like, I was feeling close to that 100%. So, I mean, with the injury I have, I mean, it's chronic. It's not something that's ever really going to go away. It's just how good can I manage it to where my symptoms are pretty much non-existent. So, I mean, that's the challenge that I have, and this off season, I pretty much dedicated everything to anything I can do as far as recovery stuff, diet, all that, and that's just something I'm just gonna continue to have to hit on the head with a nail every day, just to be out there.
Are you still kind of developing a plan of how you're going to manage it during the system, or do you have a pretty good idea of what you kind of have to do on a day-to-day basis?
A pretty good idea. I think once we start games, just because even since I started this core program, because it's pretty extended, it takes a good amount of time to do. So being able to, I think, plan out, which kind of through spring training, it'll help me plan out for whenever we go into the season. So, I mean, we're still got to map it out, but I mean, for the most part, the last month and a half is when I've been taking ground balls, and workload's kind of close minus a game. So kind of know, but once we play the games and get into those longer games and stuff, then I'll really know. But yeah, I mean, I feel pretty confident about what we have, how we have it right now.
How much did, sorry.